We're here live at the Cobb County Board of Education meeting, and I'll be recording the public comments, which are no longer going out on the official Cobb County School Board live stream. There might be a couple of ceremonial things at the beginning, so bear with us. One second. Five, four, three, two. Good evening. If there's no objection, the board will now reconvene. And please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We're all here, and Mr. Hutchins is an excused absence. He's at Pebblebrook High School, sharing a memorial event for the student that recently passed. So hold him up in your prayers. So now we'll go to board recognitions. Mr. Ragsdale.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, I'm so fortunate to join me down front to share your bring our recognitions for this evening.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, and Mr. Superintendent. We have two recognitions this evening, yes, just two. But we are going to start by recognizing Melanie Bales, the Assistant Director of School Health Services, for being recognized as the Georgia School Nurse Association Administrator of the Year. Melanie, please stand. Melanie has consistently demonstrated exceptional leadership, professional integrity, and an unwavering commitment to advancing student health and school nursing practices. She has served in multiple roles in the Georgia School Nurse Association, including President, President-elect, State Director, and has served as a member of several committees within the association. Melanie brings a strong evidence-based approach to her role and actively engages in research and professional development and shares the latest best practices with her team. Melanie is here tonight with the Director of Student Support, Jerika Cresswell, her husband Lambert, and her daughter Lauren, and some school nurses are here with us, some consulting nurses. Please come forward all to be recognized by the superintendent and the board. Congratulations. Congratulations, Melanie. Next, we will recognize our Procurement Services Department for once again receiving the 2025 Annual Achievement of Excellence in Procurement Award. Will the Procurement Services team please stand? The AEP Award is presented to agencies that demonstrate a commitment to procurement excellence. This annual program recognizes procurement organizations that embrace innovation, professionalism, productivity, leadership, and e-procurement. Procurement Services has received this annual award for 21 consecutive years. The Cobb County School District is one of 14 agencies in Georgia and one of 26 school districts in the United States and Canada to receive this award. Here tonight from the department are Jill Vestal, Senior Executive Director of Business Services, Director Barbara Bates, Assistant Director Gary Blunt, Purchasing Agent Daphne Farley, Senior Buyers Debbie Mosier and Christy Allen, and Buyers Laura Frangi and Christy Hadaway. Please come forward to be recognized by the superintendent and the board, and congratulations again. Recognition for the evening. Thank you.
Now, they should be doing the public comment, which is what I'm here to chronicle.
Right, that was good. Now we move on to our public comments, but first I would like to read a statement. The board sets aside 30 minutes of each meeting to allow members of the public to offer public comments directly to the board and superintendent on issues they believe are important to our schools. To maximize the opportunity for the number of people wishing to speak, this is not an interactive process. Board members do not interrupt, respond to, or engage with public commenters. Commenters acknowledge that public comment is not unrestricted. Commenters should be familiar with the board policies and rules regarding public comment. They agree they will not raise individual personnel issues before the board or individual student issues. Commenters bear full responsibility for the comments made. They acknowledge the board members will not react, and they agree to follow the chairman's instructions when the chair is enforcing those agreements. The timer will begin automatically when the commenter arrives at the podium. Additionally, to ensure that the views of citizens are not obstructed during the meeting and for safety purposes, only one speaker will be allowed at the podium at a time, with the exception of a parent or guardian accompanying a minor. If you would like to show your support of a speaker, you are welcome to stand in place. I also want to remind everyone in the room that we must keep the center aisle clear. Do not stand in front of the stanchions, in the center aisle, in front of the exit door, or in front of these side exit doors. No disruption to any part of our meeting will be allowed. If you wish to record any portion of someone's public comment or the meeting, you may record from your seat. The board appreciates all the community members that choose to participate in the public comment section of the board meeting. And with that, Ms. Wilcox, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Our first speaker is Tova Ringland, to be followed by Reckie Mae Parker.
My name is Tove and I'm speaking as a special needs mom. The last 2 months, I discussed issues ensuring that students receive the correct bus safety equipment required by their IEPs. This month, safety concerns continued. Last week, my son's bus driver was there one day, gone the next. We discovered that my son had a new driver. Many students on the autism spectrum do not do well with surprise changes. Neither the school nor our family received a heads up about this change so that we could take necessary measures to prepare my son. Also, many children who ride these buses have individual health or behavior plans that require bus staff to receive training. The Special Education Transportation Department did not notify the school. Instead, I informed the school of the change, which added delay to the necessary training. This left my son on the bus for over 2 hours a day with driver not trained in my son's behavior intervention plan. I am requesting that measures be implemented to ensure that necessary special education staff are notified immediately when there's a change in bus drivers or bus monitors, so these individuals are trained in the individual health and behavior plans necessary for students' safety while on the bus. Additionally, after our new driver was trained on Monday, we've had a substitute driver at least one way every day, and still no
30
communication.
seconds. Our next speaker is Reckie Mae Parker, to be followed by Rebecca Ivanoff.
Good evening. I work for Cobb County School Bus. When I work for Cobb County School District as a school bus driver, I was assaulted on the school bus. As a retainer school bus driver, I asked my FC at the time to please not assign me to that route. My FC ignored my request and put me back in harm's way. While driving the route, the same student threatened to slap me again. I informed my FC and an administrator, but was assigned the same route again. So I drove the route again, this time with high anxiety, higher than before. I have been told again and again and again that I cannot refuse a route as retainer. I let Brian Schneider and Robert Ryderson know I was assaulted by a student on the school bus and threatened later by the same student. Brian Schneider said, if you can't handle it, you should have moved down. I'll repeat that. If you can't handle it, getting assaulted, I should have moved down. That conversation is recorded and Cobb County has a copy of that. I went to OSHA, Georgia Department of Labor, United States Department of Labor to file an unsafe workplace referring to Cobb County School District, to which I was told to file it with Cobb County, which I tried. I emailed the Cobb County Home HR department. HR called me after a few email exchanges and said I could not file an unsafe workplace since I no longer work for the county, and hung up the phone on me. I'll repeat that. Hung up the phone on me. I have that recorded if you'd like to hear that.
30 seconds.
True, it's too late for me, but it's not too late for other school bus drivers or other employees that work for Cobb County. I don't want to see a Cobb County employee intentionally put in harm's way, and that's why I'm here tonight. I have provided you with a handout again. Please read through it, make the right decision, and a safe decision. Thank you for your time.
Our next speaker is Rebecca Ivanoff, to be followed by Michael Garza.
Charlie Kirk stood for conservative Christian values and open, respectful dialogue. He vehemently defended free speech. As I stand here tonight, not being allowed on video for public record, I ask, how is the board upholding the Open Records Act and free speech? I do not agree with statements made by some teachers and administrators about his death across the country. Freedom of speech does not mean freedom from consequence. However, Silencing teachers and staff from any public political opinions as a private citizen outside of the classroom should be carefully examined. When I worked for CCSD, I was talking online with other moms. I commented, "I'm so happy to be back in Cobb County," and I complimented CCSD's conservative values. I was pulled into the principal's office the next day. It was not hate speech. It was not a threat, but a simple compliment as a mom and a taxpayer. My tone was respectful, and yet I was disciplined for having an opinion on social media. The next time I was warned occurred after attending a meeting of a local organization. We discussed education and the challenges of technology and discipline in schools. Again, I was pulled into the principal's office. How could I continue to work for a school system that has watchdogs reporting people who are trying to make a positive difference in our schools? How could I continue to teach for Cobb without fear of being reported for any and every comment, even if it was discussing how to make our local schools better for our kids? Teachers and staff are citizens and taxpayers. Their First Amendment rights deserve to be protected. CCSD is unfortunately working hard to silence too many voices and opinions. If you believe in something, you need to have the courage to fight for those ideas, not run away from them or try to silence them. Charlie Kirk.
Our next speaker is Michael Garza, to be followed by Jennifer.
Can you, Jennifer? Can you, Jennifer?
My name is Michael Garza. I have a daughter in her third grade classrooms, and I appreciate what Rebecca just said. I know she and I are on different sides of things based on some previous meetings that we've been on. We're on the opposite side of regards to the books in our classrooms being banned, but we do share something, which is that we respect the right to free speech, and that is something that our district does not respect. This district is typically looking at what our teachers are doing in terms of what their political views are. That's why we hired a teacher. Yet we are continuing to go that route by considering doing the same to our teachers who have practiced their First Amendment right to saying something on social media, which for myself, I don't agree with celebrating the death of someone. I don't agree with any statements that might seem like we're celebrating a very heinous act. But we also should be toning the rhetoric down. We should be trying to bring our community together. And we're not doing that when we're so publicly chastising our teachers and saying that we're going to take away their teacher's license. These are teachers who have been in the classroom for decades. These are teachers, this is what they do. This is what they love doing. They love doing this in our classrooms. And we need leadership that really respects that respects the work that they put into in being in that classroom, the work that they've done through COVID, the work that they've done for years. And we just don't have that right now. And I urge our community to come together, and regardless of what side of the aisle that you're on, to come out and support our teachers. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Jennifer Sesko, to be followed by Rosemary.
New documentaries out for the anniversary of Hurricane Katrina reminded me of Kanye saying, George Bush doesn't care about Black people. Here it goes, Chris Ragsdale doesn't care about Pebblebrook. This year alone, there was a fight where a student had a gun on campus. The district called off the code red before the student was even out of the building. The impossible to fail security dogs you promised, not on campus. The expensive surveillance system, your Inspector Gadget, COINTELPRO 2.0, didn't stop the weapon from entering the building either. Why did Serbia fail to launch and stop that situation? A man even broke into the school multiple times using nothing but his body weight. This is what your flawless security delivers. And then a Pebblebrook student was murdered. Any condolences are empty when some of you have seemingly aligned yourself with a white supremacist who would blame the victim. Black and Hispanic families can see how little you value their lives. But whether or not you admire racists, your job does not permit acting on the belief that Black communities are inferior to you. So instead of wasting energy on more fluoristified PR spin that excuses bigotry and demonizes your teachers, fulfill your duty to Pebblebrook. Stop ignoring them and deliver to families
Miss
a
Huskell, please,
transparent
no
plan
names.
and real, fluorestified is not a name. Deliver to families a transparent plan and real
I'm
resources to
sorry.
address the dangerous safety failures.
Bye.
Your consistent neglect. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Rosemarie
Nice try.
Ron Kaplan, to be followed by Mindy Seeger. But you do need speakers to approach immediately,
They're doing their best.
so there's no disruption to the flow. Thank you.
There's no disruption to the flow. Like,
You can call me Rose.
relax, Suzanne.
Thank you very much.
In a statement at the August board meeting, Superintendent Ragsdale reaffirmed Cobb County School District zero tolerance policy on anti-Semitism. It was encouraging to hear that. It was striking, however, that there was no mention of the board's continued commitment to zero tolerance against racism and other forms of discrimination, which is why I am here. If we are to win the battle against hateful discrimination in our schools, we must speak out against all forms of discrimination with equal conviction. Anti-Semitism does not occur in a vacuum. Where anti-Semitism exists, so does racism and other forms of discrimination. Yet there was no mention of either in the statement. In my opinion, it was a missed opportunity to reaffirm the board's zero tolerance policy against other forms of discrimination as set out in a resolution passed by the board in October 2021. I don't know why. Further, we must regularly seek assurances that the system is working for everyone. Including such references would have gone far to reassure the community that the board is aware of the concerns of the diverse body it serves and is addressing them. In the absence of such public statements and reassurances,
30 seconds.
doubts will continue. Whether we want to admit it or not, in addition to anti-Semitism, racism and other forms of discrimination exist in Cobb County schools. We need to be more thoughtful and do a better job acknowledging, understanding, and addressing ongoing concerns. This work is a marathon, and it must be administered proactively through a well-thought-out strategy that seeks results through
Time.
preventive measures.
Time, yeah. Thank you.
Nice job.
To be followed by Rich Pellegrino.
Who you kicked out for what reason?
Good evening, board. Mindy Seeger, parent of two in Cobb County Schools. I'm here to speak to you tonight about bus safety, and it is, I understand, Bus Safety Month in the month of September. And a great way to keep our students and staff safe is to maintain our fleet. I know some of us are getting ready to go out on trips for the upcoming break and thinking about making sure that the oil is changed, the tires are filled, fluids are good before we head out on those trips. And I think our buses deserve the same. Let's think creatively about what our fleet needs, and our fleet maintenance crew has been here repeatedly to advocate and ask for the things that they need. So let's get them what they need to keep rolling. That list includes, but not limited to, additional staff and tools, including diagnostic laptops, among others. Specific needs, I'm sure they'd share if you just asked. Could these needs be met by leveraging our vocational tech career programs or work with the technical college system for apprenticeships? Possibly. Could we ask Cobb Schools Foundation or other community-based organizations to supply the needed tools or hardware? Perhaps. Perhaps we actually have the resources and we have the funds available if we would just allocate them as being asked, and we could look at that to take care of this critical department to keep it rolling. Let's be creative and let's get it done.
Our final speaker is Rich Pellegrino.
Thanks, sorry for the delay. I should have brought my roller skates. But anyway, my sign really says it all. It's very simple. Even a fifth grader can understand it. We, meaning true Americans, true humans, true educators, we don't celebrate bigots' death or life. Okay? So not celebrating one's life doesn't mean we're celebrating his or her death. That should be very clear to an education board. Okay, so that begs the question is, why would a superintendent board sacrifice the safety of its teachers, its staff, and its students by putting out a press release saying that it's investigating some heinous remarks by teachers and educators when no other district in the state of Georgia did that? Okay, it just leads me to believe, because in the handbook, it says that the only time you can discipline the speech of your staff is when a major disruption occurs. So who caused the disruption? Okay? Who caused that disruption? You did, by putting out that statement.
Correct.
When no other school district did. Meanwhile, in Pebblebrook, we've had 2 gun incidents in 1 week. You know, McKeitry.
Second.
Okay, so I don't understand, unless it's just political retaliation and kowtowing to bullies that want to retaliate against those who are expressing their opinion, which is protected, by the way, in the First Amendment for government employees. So not only do you sacrifice the safety, but you're sacrificing our money, our taxes, our budget by opening yourself up to major lawsuits. Thank you.
Nice job, Rick.
Thank you, Ms. Wilcox. Okay, there, I'm in.
5, 4, 3, 2.
That countdown's one of the funniest aspects of them cutting public comments off.
Action following executive session, Mr. Franklin.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chair, members of the board, I'm going to ask our chief HR officer to come and bring said report, and also a reminder that there will be 2 separate student issue motions.
Thank you, Mr. Superintendent, Mr. Chair, members of the board. It is my pleasure to bring to you the Human Resources Personnel Report for today, September 18th, 2025.
And that's a wrap.
The administration recommends the approval of the identified